Hey everybody, welcome back to Discover SPRINGFORD. I'm standing in front of Rust and Sparkle, located on Main Street in Royersford Borough. Today I'll be sitting down with the owners, sisters Cindy and Laurie, and their daughters Natalie and Madeline. I'm Geoffrey Desiato, a professional actor, part-time realtor, and transplant to the Springford area. And I'm on a mission to find the best that Springford has to offer. I'll be interviewing local business owners, civil servants, and other prominent members of the community to find out what makes Springford a great place to live, work, eat, and explore. I invite you to join me on my journey as I discover Springford. Well, ladies, thank you for letting me come in today. I know it's before hours, so you came in a little early, but I really appreciate the opportunity to come and find out about Rust and Sparkle, but more importantly, to find out about your personal stories as well. We got some family dynamics here. That's always interesting in business, and I would love to hear. We'll start with Cindy. We flipped a coin before we started filming, and she drew the short straw. I mixed my analogies there, but that's okay. Cindy, so why don't you tell us a little bit about the team here, and also how you, where you grew up, and what your background is.
Okay. Well, first of all, we are all family here. 2 moms, 2 daughters. This is my daughter Natalie. This is my sister Laurie, and her daughter Madeline. And all of us seem to be very, very involved in art. Okay. Even though some paths took us over to occupational therapy.
Right.
My daughter is an art teacher as well,
wow.
And so am I. And Madeline just graduated from Parsons School of Design.
Oh, nice.
My sister, an occupational therapist, we always say that she is just as artsy or even more so than the rest of us. But I was in business a while ago, even though I teach art today at Pottsgrove High School. Many years ago, when these guys were little, I took a chance and was in business in Pottstown on King Street. It was a hand painting apparel business. So driving down this main street, I happened to see this little store for sale and thought, let's give it a try again. So we all came by and thought, I think we will.
Oh, okay.
Personally, we all grew up in this area. My mom, their Nana, lived in Linfield.
Oh, okay.
And I raised my children in Pottstown. And also they went to the Pottsgrove and Owen J. Roberts school districts.
Okay.
So today, here we are.
That's great.
We make a lot of the things that are here in the shop, either the jewelry or redoing some of the furniture and even doing some of the painting, some small paintings. Yeah. And we order some of the clothing in various places. Sometimes trying to do it locally.
Oh, that's great. Natalie, why don't you go next to tell us a little bit about, beyond graduating from Pottsgrove or O&J, whichever it was, take us a little bit onto your journey of becoming an art teacher as well.
Well, obviously grew up in a very creative household.
Yeah.
And even past growing up, our family get-togethers are always, like, the craft table is where we gather and mess up the house with some new project that one of us wants to try. Yeah. And our houses were like bursting at the seams with all these interesting, pieces of furniture or art projects, and we thought, gosh, it would be great to have somewhere to sell them.
That's great.
So that's kind of how we got into the business. And then I have 4 kids, so
that makes it interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah. Ranging from 12 to 10 months, and I taught art in Connecticut when I moved around with my husband.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got into the art, and I moved back here about 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm back to where I grew up.
Oh, that's great.
I live in Chester Springs.
Oh, right. Very not far. Right over the bridge and a little bit further.
Yep. Yep.
I feel like it's and is that O&J?
That is Downingtown.
Downingtown.
Yeah,
okay,
we live in Downingtown.
I know that O&J is massive, so I never know where it begins and ends.
We're right on the edge.
Oh, okay. All right, Madeline, just because we're going this way, I'll let you kind of tell your story of obviously you graduated from high school in this area, and then it took you elsewhere. So
yeah, so then I went to design school in New York at Parsons School of Design, and at first I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer, but when I got to New York, you kind of realize, like, oh my gosh, there's so many other things that can be designed, or there's just like so much more to that world.
Yeah.
So I kind of did like a make your own major and was really interested in like store design and visual merchandising.
Oh, wow.
So then when they, kind of mentioned like, oh, there's a store in Royersford, I was like, yes, please buy it. That sounds so fun.
A blank canvas.
Yeah. But now I work at a small company that we actually sell in the store, MapTote, and I do like a lot of their social media and wholesale.
Oh, that's awesome.
And do a lot of their trade show booth design as well.
Oh, that's really
So
cool.
yeah, we try to like bring in everything that is connected to us in some way, kind of in the shop.
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up, I mean, like Nat said, like I feel like every holiday we have like a coloring contest, and it gets very competitive.
I was gonna say, it seems like probably a lot of artists, and all around the table. I mean, it gets competitive in a holiday setting, even if people aren't artistic.
Right.
They're just opinionated. So throw art in the mix, which is subjective, and everybody's arguing about, which is best.
Yeah, and
the brothers.
Yeah, and everyone participates, like our brothers, grandfathers. Usually, Pop is the judge. Yeah, like Nat's kids all do it. And then we're like always trying to make new things, or if we see something somewhere, we're like, oh, can we make that? And I still, like, even in my little apartment in New York, I'm always, like, crafting and have a little craft closet that's, like, overflowing.
That's interesting.
So I think that's been,
Space is a premium there, too,
Yeah.
so to have all that stuff, I can imagine.
Yeah. But, I feel like we're always kind of, like, making something.
Right.
Yep.
Now, how is your involvement down here? Obviously, it's a commute.
Yeah.
I understand that, not to the extent, but how often do you find yourself down here? Thank you, by the way, for coming down for this.
Of course.
And thank you for coming.
I feel like I always come if there's, like, an event or something like that, but I mostly run, like, the online social media, the Instagram, the Facebook, and then we just launched the website, which I made, and you can now shop a few items online.
Oh, nice.
So, that's been exciting.
That's cool,
and
too.
we're hoping to add, like, more stuff.
Now, that obviously would appeal to people who can't get here
Right.
locally, but they like the specific vibe that Rust and Sparkle offers. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I do now for the shop.
Was that up around the holidays? Did you
It
guys?
was, right? We launched it right
in November.
before November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did you see any Christmas shopping?
Yes, that was our busiest month.
That's great. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Right? You guys got it up in time. That's
It's
good.
been great so far.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. So Laurie, you're the last one.
Okay.
You can tell us a little bit about how you ended up outside of the art industry, but
I did.
requires an artful eye.
Yeah. I graduated from Temple University, but there I did have a struggle whether to go into art or to, my mom was a nurse, the medical field, and I ended up headed that direction. But the occupational therapy major allowed me to be creative too, because you can do, as part of recovery, do some crafts and different things like that, but also figure out creative ways to get people to be able to do what they need to do in life, bathing, dressing, eating, social, leisure activities. So it kind of fit perfectly. But, of course, my sister and the family has kept me into the crafting world and the art world, and it appears that our generations get better and better.
Oh, really? Well, you pass it down the tradition.
Yeah,
and stuff, right?
and even Natalie's kids, they're absolutely fabulous artists. So
that's really great.
Yeah,
I was just thinking of the brothers, how they also seem to be into the arts. They come down and they also give us some advice on the decorations, what to buy, even though they're not exactly in the shop. They, one.
I have two brothers, and Madeline has a brother.
Madeline has a brother, and they like to give advice, and it is Mitchell, Mason, and Cole, and they also give advice. And Natalie's husband as well sometimes walks in and, well, he helps do some of the business end of it.
Yes.
So
Now,
we like to include them. It's a true family adventure.
Wow, and we better give our
And pop
props
up
to
too.
our pop, who was a
Yes.
design engineer. So maybe some of our
I know.
came from him.
And to our dads who help
Yeah.
out in the facility because they're down if
They
like a
did all
window breaks
the toilet,
or
the window, the floor, everything.
right, I was
Yeah.
going to say, like, they may be...
they're our maintenance.
Yeah.
That is so true.
And,
so
yeah.
everyone's involved.
Right, and we have like a family group chat with all of us, and we'll always send like pictures of me modeling, and it's like, should I post this? Should I not?
It's
And
true.
everyone's like, that's cute, that's not, or don't say that.
And Eliza does that part.
Yeah.
Madeline, you need that.
Right, like post that one or don't. So I feel like
That's right.
everyone is really involved.
Yeah, and a lot of hands in the mix.
Super
Yeah.
So
involved.
I imagine that's helpful and can also sometimes when there's too many chiefs, they say it gets a little hard to move forward. Have you guys? How long have you been in this location? Yeah.
It's been
No,
3 years.
3 years.
3
Okay,
years.
so was it 2016 or 2015?
2015.
Okay.
Right?
Do you know what was in this spot before you guys picked it?
Well, it was vacant when we first bought it, but
Yeah.
I think it was an awning store at some
Oh, okay.
point. Possibly.
And a dry cleaners,
dry
and then
cleaner.
even before that, they may have said candy shop.
I know.
Yeah, I know there's a
Yeah.
lot of candy
shop.
Candy world, candy
Yes.
tradition here, Allen's Candy Store.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah.
disagrees, I think, about where it actually
Actually
was.
was.
Because every store I've interviewed on Main Street has
like,
said
"This is
it
a
used to be Allen's Candy Store.
I could
No, I'm just
stand
kidding.
candy.
That's true, yeah. I know
No,
Sweet Ashley's used
We
to be
miss
right
Sweet
yeah.
Ashley's. We would
We
always
do.
go get a treat
Yeah.
every time
That
we
was
were.
an
My
everyday.
kids love to come
They-
only because
only
of
because of
going
You had to keep them keep them happy while they sat here while you guys worked. I remember days like that when
Yeah.
I had to go with my mom to work and be trying to occupy myself. I'm like, ugh, it's so boring. And now I would go think back and I'm like, oh, I probably could have learned a little something if I had like kind of asked
Right.
questions or tried
Yeah.
to
Yes.
figure. So I think it's really cool that you guys have the family all involved in the arts in various
We
ways.
do, yeah.
And just kind of as you were saying, Laurie, I thought it was really cool that you even though you make your living outside of the arts, you're enabling other people to kind of regain the ability to create themselves, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of I don't know, just a lot of heart and passion that goes into the art, but also into the work that you do, because it's giving of yourself to give other people the ability to do what they were created to do.
Yes,
So that's really
yes.
it's a
And it's
beautiful,
rewarding, too,
beautiful thing.
yeah,
for
I
sure.
think.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the store here? I'll let anybody answer that question, but how it operates and how you guys find the stuff or design the stuff, and what some of the thought for the rust and sparkle look, where that comes from.
We did start out trying to allow people to do consignment,
Okay.
and that did become very overwhelming.
Yeah.
That in itself is a business of its own, keeping
Yeah.
track of all that. But at the same time, when we mention my dad or their pop-up, it's really nice for him. He brings some of his things in, like the cuckoo clocks and
Oh,
the
really?
very old antique clocks. And he also fixes some of those, so that keeps him very busy at age 88. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
really nice.
And he does our stained glass
And our
as well.
stained glass.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I know.
So at
And I'll
each one
make
of us,
sure that I get a shot around
Yeah.
the store
Sure.
that we can show the audience some of those items. That's
But
cool.
yeah, when you guys first opened, I feel like it was mostly kind of home items, and then the jewelry that you make. We call her Cece. She hand makes all like the jewelry and earrings that you see in the shop. So yeah, when we first opened, it was like mostly home items, like vintage stuff or like furniture we repainted
Right.
and jewelry. But now clothing has become really popular, so we've been bringing in more clothing brands and lines because people seem to like that.
Yeah.
Which we like too because we wear all the clothes.
That's great. Yeah, you're walking models
Yeah.
as you go out into the community.
Yes,
It says,
we're all wearing it.
Oh, was that strategic?
Yes.
I don't think I could get dressed in the morning
I know,
without our
without it.
clothes anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know we don't really ever go shopping except at Rust and
just-
Sparkle.
That's good, actually, because then it's like you don't have to begrudgingly try to sell something to somebody because it's in your warehouse or whatever. It's all stuff that you enjoy.
Yeah. Well, and I think our motto is, what would we buy this? Like, would we wear this? Like, nothing in the store is something that we wouldn't wear.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. And the fact that you guys, even with your brothers and husbands, and that you all kind of have an idea of what Rust and Sparkle is, in the terms of like, I'm sure they're making suggestions, and you guys you have the filter of that, would we want this and stuff like that. I think that's really good that you have your identity kind of ironed out, which I think a lot of businesses struggle with. And I don't know how long you did the consignment thing, but I think the fact that you recognized that it wasn't what Rust and Sparkle was supposed to be and pivoted, that's a testament. Even in your 3 short years, I think a lot of businesses sometimes will try to ride it out to the point where then it becomes like detrimental or something like that. So the fact that you can learn and pivot and adjust, that's something that I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with.
And it was hard because we love the idea of supporting like other local makers, and we still try to have like
that's
have some
what I was going to say.
We
won't consign it, but we'll buy it outright.
So sometimes, because our shop is very small.
I was not. As you can see, this is the first episode where we're standing on the Rust and Sparkle gets that award. I'll have to bring in a little trophy. There's nowhere to set up like we normally do. Not that our setup is ever anything impressive. This is actually I think a very better, more interesting backdrop than our episodes normally have. Usually it's just a blank colored wall or something in somebody's office or something like that. So I do appreciate this vibe, and I think it keeps my energy up early on a Saturday morning, which is when we're filming this on a gray Saturday. So is there anything else that you guys would like to let the audience know, let the viewers know about Rust and Sparkle? Obviously, we mentioned the clothes, the handmade items, household items and things. But I don't want to miss out on an opportunity, if we end and you said, oh, I forgot to say that. So since there's 4 of you,
are important.
We
because we are all working, women. Our hours right now are Fridays 4 to 7, Saturdays 10 to 5 every week. And then every now and again we do get to open some extra hours. So our Facebook page and our Instagram pages are constantly being updated. So if anybody's wondering, you can always go there to check.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, and I would imagine the website too.
And the website now is up.
And you
kind of
can
helps.
shop
24/7 through the website. That's great.
We also like to have something for everyone. In fact, like right now we have brand new beard oil. And we do love doing that. Like the last show we went to, we said, what can we get for some men? And because the boys were complaining. But we
tend to do when we feel left out.
But we really do. It's so small, but we do try to have a little bit of everything.
Stuff, kids stuff, jewelry, clothing.
Handmade soaps.
I was going to say the eclectic.
The soaps and candles have been a big
the
seller.
eclectic and constant changing of our products, I think, keeps our customers really happy, who we appreciate so much. Because I don't know that I've ever met such a nice, wonderful customer.
They're our friends.
They're our friends when
they're
they
our
come in.
friends.
Like some
They
people come in on a Friday night and they might stay for a half hour or 45
Oh my gosh. Probably past closing time.
Yeah.
You're like, let's go.
They really are.
They are. And the whole community's been wonderful as far as that goes, as a place to, and we hope it continues to grow, because that would be lovely.
Yeah, obviously. I think I've heard this so much, especially from the businesses here on Main Street. People really want to see Main Street thriving again.
I know.
And I feel that the community, everyone is different, but I feel like the majority, I can safely say, they really, they have said that they love seeing when a business comes in. They want to support it, even if it's something that isn't necessarily their, cup of tea or jar of beard oil. That they want to see it thrive. And I did an interview earlier this year speaking to some Alicia of the Big Easy, who said that she came here kind of as a favor. She just picked up a shift. She didn't live anywhere near here or anything like that of what was the French Quarter Bistro. And she met the people here
Yeah.
and the community here
Yes.
made her want to keep coming
It's
back.
very
And now
strong.
she's like, and she said it's just like she made like lifelong friends, just
For
you know, working in the restaurant. And now she owns it, and you know,
Yeah, that's amazing.
she's like, we spend holidays together. You know, it's just
Right.
very
It is
different,
true.
and it is that small town feel, which is really cool.
And I
And-
think with the, were you going to say the mayor?
Oh yeah, we do love
definitely-
Jenna.
Mayor Jenna.
Yeah.
Discover Springford alum.
Yes.
Watch episode 18 of season
right.
1. As I said, got to sit down. And I don't know if she did this on purpose. I'm not trying to embarrass her, but I walked into her house and it smelled like fresh baked cookies. 'Cause she was baking cookies for an event, but I think she was just trying to butter me up a little bit. I'm just kidding. Jenna. We're
And
really
yeah, I
close.
mean, she always
sweet.
shares our photos and all the
Yes.
businesses around,
Oh,
and I think
totally,
that's
yeah.
really important because it like gets people excited and like maybe someone didn't know about Rust and Sparkle because we're not
Right.
open every day, but when people like share our stuff on Facebook, it really you can like tell that
yeah,
it really
and
helps.
especially because I feel like right now, you know, while some of the storefronts are still vacant, people are passing, but they're on their way somewhere. They don't have time to be like, oh, what's that? And pull over and come in, you know, on a Friday night, or you know, or on Saturday they may stop over if they're eating breakfast
Right.
at one of the many breakfast places
Yeah.
that we have. Yeah, so that's really great to hear that you guys are feeling that embrace of the community, because that's really important.
Yeah.
I do want to highlight. I will. You said this is a hot ticket item, and I want to get one. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yes.
Our
All you
bestseller.
Philly fans. I remember. I think I saw this on your Facebook page.
Yes.
I need to get one. I don't know if you have any men's sizes.
We're
but-
going to try
We're
to.
Okay.
working on
We're
that.
working
All right,
on
maybe
it.
I'll
It's
be
been
the first.
requested.
Yes, you will.
Okay. What do they call it? Original edition? I'll get
Yes.
one. So, Natalie, were you about to say something? I don't know if I cut you off. Or
No,
not.
not
Oh,
at
okay.
all. I was just saying we love that
yeah,
shirt
so-
and all our different stuff.
Yeah, I really love it. And when I walked in here, it smelled so good too. So I can smell the handmade soaps and all that, all the different things that you have. As we go, I know we talked about the hours. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they want to know more?
Probably like Facebook
Uh-huh.
or on the website. There's a contact us too.
Okay.
But yeah, Facebook or Instagram. I'm always checking it.
That's good. And I imagine the small town community feel is exactly what you feel when you go back to Manhattan, right?
Right, yeah, not so much. I know it is very different, but I do love it there because the neighborhood I live in is all little shops,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's like very fun to go in and like meet other shop owners.
Yeah, you
And
can
I like
glean
love
there,
that
yeah.
aspect
That's
of
awesome.
the neighborhood I live in. Yeah.
And there's someone who shops here who relocated from Brooklyn, and she was like, this is exactly like some of the shops that I used to love. A little
That's
bit of
really cool.
everything. A
So
little
it
bit of
helps you guys
everything.
stand out from
Yeah.
just the typical,
Right.
you know, I don't know what you would call this, retail store, you
Right.
know, for lack of a better term, but because you're having an outside kind of influence, you're getting to see something from a different locale,
Yeah.
and then you can incorporate it, but still keep the local feel as well.
For sure.
That's cool. That makes it unique, and I definitely feel that as I come in here. It's a unique experience.
And I think another thing is because it is so small, like if something's not selling, we'll like take it home, bring something new in, change out the furniture. That's another thing. All the displays are for sale.
Oh wow!
The lights, all the shelving, whatever. But like it's always changing. So we do have customers that come in like every single weekend, and we're like, I didn't see this last week, and we're like, well, because it wasn't here.
Turnover, that's
Like,
huge.
yeah.
too, 'cause I
We
feel
do
like
that every
a lot of
week.
places, you know, you don't want to see dust on the stuff on the shelves.
Yeah.
You want to see it moving, and the fact that you keep you don't have a big backlog of inventory and stuff.
Not
I think
at
works
all.
in your favor because you can really, and it'll get people continually coming back because
Yeah.
they want to see what else are you guys going to bring into the store. That's really interesting. It's fascinating. So. Well, ladies, thank you so much
Thank
for doing
you.
this. Thank you
Thank
for
you
working in
for
our
doing
setting
this.
here
Yes.
and being creative, as I knew you would be, to get us to set up. I really appreciate your time. So thank you all very much. I usually shake the person's hand, so I'll shake all of your hands.
Thank you.
Cindy,
Thank
Madeline,
you.
Laurie, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Discover Springford. I want to thank you for watching and thank the team here at Rust and Sparkle for their time. If you'd like to find out more about Rust and Sparkle, you can click the links below the video. And I also encourage you to check out the store for yourself, either on Friday nights or on Saturdays. If you stop in, make sure you let them know that you heard about them through Discover Springford. If you'd like to support us going forward, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast, and those links are also available below the video. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. I encourage you to come back next week. But until then, get out there on your own journey to discover what makes the Springford area a great place to live, work, eat, and explore.